Ladies and gentlemen,
What the fuck is up?
welcome back.
Welcome back,
Yes,
everyone.
yes. To the
Just
producer lounge.
Exclusive.
Folks, this is our show about music production. We're going to sit here and chit-chat. Welcome to the producer lounge, okay? I'm sure that makes sense. It implies lounging. It implies that producers lounge here in this lounge.
Yeah.
So get to lounging, folks. We're going to fucking hang out, talk about some shit. If you're checking us out on TikTok, head over to twitch.tv/always400official.
Yeah, come ask us your questions.
Yeah, or be like, you suck, you don't know how to EQ, you know? Whatever.
Yeah.
Come on over. Bring it.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Talk that shit.
Talk that shit.
Bring it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a grand time. It's gonna be great. So much fun. Seriously, dude,
It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so
Listen,
fun.
Every Tuesday, always a blast.
I compressed something again for the first time.
Whoa.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah,
I don't know how I did it again for the first time, but I did somehow.
Huh. What'd you
And
compress again for the first time?
I think what I did is I smashed some snares, some off snares with a clipper, and then I kind of glue compressed like a 2-to-1, you know, real slow attack, slower release, and just kind of let it like kind of tickle them a little bit because they're kind of happening
Bring
quick.
some transient back.
Yeah, bring a little bit of transient and kind of vibe back to it, and it did exactly what it needed to do. And I was like, sick, tight, cool, and I moved on.
Damn.
It was tight.
Sounds pretty tight, dude. You made it tight.
It it was doing maybe 3 decibels of reduction, maybe less,
Mm-hmm.
and I made it up. So whatever, but just a little bit of Goose backing onto the Goose.
Goose it back in there.
Goose on the goose,
Goose it
dude.
back in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Goose the goose.
It's like Christmas dinner, folks.
Exactly.
How are you guys today, though? I hope you guys are doing great.
Yeah, chat is active as hell today.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
Questions rolling through, donations rolling through. Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Folks, if you're on Twitch, or if you're on TikTok, head to Twitch. And if you're on Twitch, head to TikTok, you know?
Shit, mix it up a little.
Rogue right now. Head over to
Screamception.
TikTok. Check us out on TikTok right now. What's up, buddy?
No easy baked 420. You can't give us your firstborn kid.
400 Rogue? Jeez.
400 Rogue?
Yeah, it's
right.
fucking...
Whoa.
It's the homie.
It's our boy.
Let's go.
He doesn't believe in TikTok. What's up? Soom?
Dude, TikTok's not real. Oh, Soomp in the building. What's up, G-Thang?
It does sound like it's phasing. Well, for one, I know that the right channel's too loud, so let me go fix that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Y'all
I'll give you a
continue.
check once you're over there.
ladies and gentlemen, this is a professional podcast. We're getting started today.
Thanks for the little tipski there.
Right. We actually
What are
decided...
you, like, listening to this on monitors or something?
We've been testing out a new effect, putting a phaser on the master for the podcast, just to make it a little wonky.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to stand out these days.
You got to stand out.
In 2023,
Yeah.
like everybody's doing everything, so you gotta do something to stand out.
Yeah. Have absolute low quality audio for your podcast, you know? People love it. It's what the people want.
Is it
any
It seems
better,
like it's
sir?
still slightly leaning, no? Based on the whatever that fucking thing's called. I'm supposed to know these sorts of things.
Stereoscope.
Ooh, there you go. That
The-
seems like straight up and down, maybe.
We're too quiet now? Perfect.
Yo.
We have a triple OTT on the master. We can just crank those up a little. Or the octagon, as Eliminate would call it.
It's interesting that we would be quiet.
Right.
Do you have like a compressor or something on there, Caleb, that you're adjusting?
So, Dave, how was your week? What did you do this week? Any successful endeavors?
I was out of town a good bit, so music stuff was kind of chilling.
Mm-hmm. That's
But-
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but it was that we made some little moves.
Nice.
Sent
nice.
some music to some peeps and
Mm-hmm.
made a couple connections. So that was good. We had a little bit of a networking week.
Mm-hmm. It was a good week.
I would say.
Yeah, it was a good week.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, there's this really sick artist, Justin J. He just threw a meetup at 1134 here in Denver, and it was like a producer DJ meetup thing. And he basically just like went over tracks, went over his production process, like tips on music business, the music industry. It was cool. And he said he's going to be doing more of those. So people look out for that because it was super fun. It was super fun. We got to kick it, just talk to him, pick his brain about production. And it's fun because he's one of those guys who's like fully just on board with like simplicity is key to everything. Like he pulled up this one project file and it was literally, just 6 channels. Like 909 kick, 909 hat, whatever snare. And he's like, yeah, just keep it simple. Get a nice little groove, nice little melody in there, make it memorable. And you got sauce on your hands. And it's nice to hear that, you know. Something we always talk about, you know, the simplicity side of it, but it is nice to see someone of status or whatever be like, yeah, it's the move. Everything is better when you do it that way.
Yeah. I think I'm finding that as I get more simple, I enjoy more simple way more. Because it's all about the finesse of the simplicity. Like, can I make it simple, but somehow then make it interesting at the same time? Because, I mean, there's nothing better than one of those compliments where you're like, the person's like, why is it so like, why am I loving how like I've had, it's so dry. Why do I like this?
Yeah, you've had a couple of those before.
And I'm just like, yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Can you make it fucking just bare bones and it be enjoyable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of goes back to that statement from way back where it was like, if you write a song, it should be good played on any instrument.
Oh,
kind of a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter how you play it, it should still be good.
Mm-hmm. It does come down to that, yeah. And it's so easy. I feel like a lot of producers, newer producers, will use reverb as like a crutch because reverb just sounds amazing. And if you have like a mid sound,
it's so easy.
Yeah, you throw a reverb on and you're like, oh, it's amazing now. And then you just, throw a reverb on everything. And then you have a nightmare of mud and reverb. Everything's pushed into the background of your mix.
Yeah. Because if you don't know how to do reverb correctly, it just takes up the front of your mix. Yeah. In a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. You know, like you need to get rid of the highs and the fucking lows on those reverbs. Yeah. And, even like one thing that's like a magical thing to learn is make your reverbs less stereo. Make them more of a mono thing. A lot of times, not mono, but like fairly squished in to where they're not like way out on the sides. Because that makes it perceivably further away. Which is a really nice thing, even though it seems counterproductive because reverb's like well known as like a space creator. Yeah, you know? But you can you make your sounds have a little bit of width and shit, and then have that fucking squish on the reverbs to where they're kind of like they are wide, but they're not fucking all the way out there. So that when something is all the way out there, it really sounds like it is.
Right. Comes back to contrast at that point.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then you can have fun with the reverb and like automate it to go left or right, pan it left and right. So it like flies and tightens up.
Now you can move it around.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And you can hear like the little space just travel around your speakers. It's really like interesting thing. It's cool. I hear like Tipper do that all the time. Bunch of like left field bass guys. I'm sure a bunch of people are doing that,
Yep, you can automate some shit to kind of like focus frequencies so it either is like going down and to the left or up and to the right or whatever.
Yeah.
Make it really swirl around.
Right.
It's not a thing that I'm doing a lot, but it sounds like a fun time.
Right.
Make some sick reverb throws that kind of like
move around.
Yeah. You can make them go like wide and then suck in.
Right.
And
That's
that's
exactly what I would do.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I would go from like it going big into something like it gets either tight or it goes into a convolution or something that's a little more movable.
Specific,
and it like
yes.
it's very like apparent that it's moving, or so it's not like leaving a trail kind of thing. But that would be kind of cool.
Right. A fun one I've been playing around with is throwing like a tremolo or an auto pan on the reverb tail, and you have it automate the dry wet to come on over time, so you get the big impactful space, and then you get some flutter. Yeah.
Do that on a bass sound, so it's like
right, just all
that shit's so much fun.
You could even do it on just the higher end of the sound. The bass sound.
The classic. Classic.
Both are good though. I would probably opt for the sub getting hit with it too.
Yeah, you could go a step further and have it like mimic maybe it being pushed into a distortion unit. So as it like tails, it breaks and flutters, so it's like a part of the breaking kind of thing. It's kind of fun.
Right. Yeah, you can get creative with it. Your reverb tails.
What's up, Meatbag? Welcome back.
Meatbag in the building.
Sheesh.
Having fun with like your reverb is a good time, but until you really understand what it's for and like how it's used and like the general purpose of a track,
shouts,
it can be tricky. You know, I overdid reverb for like 5 years.
Oh my god!
I mean, you kind of have to overdo it for a long time before you understand how to like really finesse it.
Or like you have somebody who's like a mentor, like be like, don't ever do
No.
Like, no, you don't ever need that much.
Hey, we are your mentor. Don't overdo your reverb.
We're here to help, ladies and
if
gentlemen.
if you do overdo your reverbs, just stop doing that. Focus on doing dry shit, and then when you use a reverb in that situation, you will just you're gonna love that reverb so much.
Right. It sounds so nice.
It's gonna just be singing through the song. And the other thing is, what works better in our opinion, or I don't know, for sure my opinion, is using grouped reverbs in sends. So use short, medium, far away reverbs that you send generally things to, individual tracks, and then you make them, you tailor each of those reverbs specifically.
Yeah, it's like they're like glue reverbs almost.
Right. And no matter how you group the rest of your song, you can send individual things to that to get the, it will give you a representation of the depth in the shit that you're doing. And it's so good.
It really is.
Did you guys hear that little buzz?
Yeah. What was that?
Okay. I don't know what that was either. Sorry guys, we had a little buzz happening over here.
Buzz.
Meatbag says Crystalline is my go-to. I like Crystalline. That's by Sound Toys, I believe, right? Same guys who make my
I think it's
favorite.
Crystallizer.
Oh yeah, it is.
I don't know what Crystalline is. Yeah,
I don't know what Crystalline is. Baby Audio. All right, we'll
Baby
check that
Audio.
Out. Check that in a second. It sounds familiar. And then what is Glurbs? What is that in reference
Glurbs.
to? I don't really know. But let's see what's happening.
Crystalline is my go-to.
Baby.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that up real quick. See what that's about.
You can just get away with some nice reverb that way, and your song will feel it has depth in a way that it didn't have before.
Yeah,
it's the fucking best,
and it makes that one moment count so much. Like you're saying, that's why you love that one reverb, because it just comes in here and there, and you're like, yes, all the space.
Yes,
just for a moment.
Wow, their bundle is.
Wow, their plugins look nice.
$200
$200 for all of these. They have freebies.
Those are some good looking plugins. I like that bottom right one.
Crystalline. Okay, so that one's Crystalline. Okay. The problem is
that Bill?
maybe.
I think I saw
Here we
Bill.
Go to product. What is this thing?
Oof, not a fan of the white.
Reflections.
Depth.
I think
shape,
it looks kind of
cleanup.
nice.
It does kind of look nice.
It does
I'm
look
sure
good,
It's
but-
got, I'm sure it's got a dark
Those
skin.
buttons look very pressable. You know, like you fucking if you had your hands on it, it would be a nice push.
Yeah, like this.
Right.
Like a little 3D model. Be a nice little grabby boy. Oh, Damian Taylor says, Crystalline's unique interface encourages you to think about reverb in a completely different way.
Wow.
As a result, I found myself creating sounds and textures I've never encountered before. You'll get sounds out of Crystalline you can't find anywhere else.
Damn.
Thanks, Damien.
Damien with
Amazing.
a thick Australian accent.
That was definitely English.
Australian.
No, that was Australian. It started English, but I think it went Australian.
Some reverb demos over
Sounds
here.
like reverb, dude.
Yeah.
Sick. This thing's cool.
Yeah, I'm
100
interested.
bucks.
$100, but it's 200 for the bundle.
Yeah, the bundle
Well,
seems
I mean,
legit.
Let's go.
What is this? Oh, a pitch
Honestly, we
drift?
should
A
get
free
that
pitch
bundle.
drift?
Oh, I've seen that actually.
Magic Switch. Is this an A-B'er? That'd be dope. Magic Dice.
Oh,
a
I've seen the dice
randomizer?
also,
Is it a
yeah.
randomizer?
Yeah, something. I don't know what it randomizes though.
Those look like good things to have.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird.
Magic Dice
I was like, who
gives you
was
lush
that? Was
delay
that me?
reverb modulation textures at the click of a button. Each new click generates a new effect combination. Oh, okay. So it's just a
Random effects.
Yeah. Interesting.
When you
Magic
click on
Switch chorus inspired by the Juno 1 button. Oh, I love that fucking chorus. Let's go. That's basically the ones on the
I love a good chorus.
on any
Yeah.
cow.
Any random chorus sounds good to me.
Right.
Just throw it on, see what happens.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back. Here's a free delay. Plug in develop by. Yeah, anyways.
We have fun here, boss.
The simplest delay still gets everything you need. Wow, they got a bunch of these little guys.
No, what is it? New Wave? Yeah, the pitch one looks fun.
Those are tight.
It's kind of like
yeah.
what is it? What is the Melda? What is vibrato? God, I cannot think of that word. Melda's vibrato. You can kind of set it to like the chaos waveform, so it's more sporadic. That's kind of what their pitch drift does, I believe, where it's just instead of it just being a sine wave, it's kind of just like random all over. Gives it a little bit more of that organic feel we all know and love.
You got that black box meat bag?
Yeah, you better. Yeah, if you got plug-in
Alliance,
you
baby.
need black box, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, plug-in Alliance and Fab Filter cover most of everything anybody needs. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I will
Phaseplant.
check. Yeah, Phaseplant's the shit.
I gotta use it more.
I was selling Phaseplant at the producer meetup.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
doing the good work, Kilohertz. Come on,
Yeah,
sponsor us.
sponsor the podcast, obviously.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that plugin's the best, dude.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, meat bag on the Studio One. Is that what I'm seeing right now? It's Persona Studio One. I think it is.
I think so. Let's go. That's exciting.
I'm interested in Studio One.
That the reverb does have a dark mode. Thank God.
Yeah.
Everything needs to have a dark mode. I think we're getting there. Society's coming to that realization.
Yeah, so that I can have it in light mode all the time.
Yeah. My eyes.
Just my eye, I can't see. Been on pre-shows
Can
for
match
years now.
Your Serum.
Right. I love that fucking Serum skin. It's the best, dude.
I fucking hate. I've never hated a Serum skin more.
I rarely use Serum, so every time I open it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's fun.
Oh, that's the thing.
That's
yeah.
fun. Because I stared at.
I guess it's if it's rare, yeah.
I stared at the stock one for 6 years,
Yeah.
5 years. Like,
Yeah.
fucking tired of it.
Oh, if anybody doesn't know, the anthracite skins are the fucking best Serum skins ever.
Anthracite.
They're so sick.
Anthracite.
They're free. I think they took them offline. They're super hard to find now. But if anybody wants them, pop into our Discord. Maybe we'll hook you up.
Hey, sheesh.
They're exactly what I want from a skin. Where it's like
Discord.
!Discord. Hop on in, ladies and gentlemen. We're super active there. Yeah, it's all just dark in a good tone and just cool colors. It's perfect. It's everything I want.
Anthracite.
Yeah, so it's just like that. That's like the ruby one.
Yeah, here's one example, folks.
Yeah.
It does look clean.
It looks clean, right?
I don't like the layout. I'm tired of it.
Of just Serum itself.
Yeah, like Phaseplant is much more inspiring to me. I get inspired like immediately and just fucking start rolling.
Nice.
Yeah. I can just keep adding oscillators. I can mute them. I can and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this weird one I had. What does that do now that I have this whole thing? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can make a oscillator that you like, duplicate it, mute it, and then change another one and do another one, and then duplicate that and then mute it and then do another one. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes like the best shit in production is like when you get into that situation where you're like, okay, I made a thing. Let me do another version of it. And then you do another version, and you're like, it's better.
Yeah.
And then you're like, let me do another version of that. And then, and you just keep going down that fucking long road.
Until you're like,
that shit
this is
pays
the best
off
one.
nice, though.
It really
does.
Here we go, folks. It really does.
I found him. There you go, folks. If you were watching,
that was quick.
You're watching the last couple seconds.
Drop it. Yeah, drop that shit in the fucking
I'll put it in Discord.
Yeah, they're beautiful skins. If you're into subtlety, just want something clean, anthracite is the way to go.
Anthracite. Well, that's sick. And I like Phaseplant skin because it's already just like gray, black, and blue.
Right.
It's just like nice and clean and
That does look good.
sleek, and it's got enough of a mood to it, but not enough of a mood to it. Like it's pretty sterile, which is nice because then I can just immediately just start making the techiest shit without having to worry about it because it just feels like that to me, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
so something I wanted to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah. On the compression bit again is drum bussing and drum processing. I've been playing around with that a little bit more. I saw this Disclosure video.
Yeah.
And he basically has in his drum group just a defaulted rack that's always turned off that has like some New York style compression, like pretty heavy compression, a little bit of saturation, a soothe on it, and then just final limiting. So you can just push it all to 0, make sure it's all saucy and good.
In the New York style compression chain, that's what's going on.
In just that, those are extras on the New York compression. Yeah, after. I forget which one it is in Ableton, but it's like a really heavy compression, and it sounds nice. It just chonks everything up really nicely, and makes the waveform smaller. So when you boost it back up to like where it was before, it has that perceived loudness, just so cranked up.
It's been clipped.
Yeah.
Clipping.
It's amazing.
Is there a question in here, or are you just stoked that fucking you can squash drums?
Yeah, I'm also stoked on that. So the question is,
sounds great.
Something I keep thinking of, I've been using a lot of Noisia's samples lately because they just came out with a new pack. Everyone go check that out on Splice. It's fucking dope. But I'm thinking about it, like their drums, they're already like so clipped and so chonked out as it is.
Yeah, you don't have to do a lot.
Yeah, like, am I just like being redundant, like doing all this extra processing? Am I just like making the sound worse?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Possibly. Not always, but very possibly. Like if I'm going to use something like that, then I'm not going to do a lot unless I'm going to like EQ it to death and kind of neuter it. Then I need to bring it back. But if I don't do a lot to it and I like just the way it sounds, I'll just like leave it loud and not a lot of processing will happen on it.
Yeah, you really don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about like group compression, like on the drums, the point of it is to have everything get affected by the same chain of color, right? So, like even with one of those big Noisia samples, like they're gonna be nice in there, but sometimes that means weirdly you have to turn it down so that as you squish, it ends up being at 0.
Right, or wherever you want. Yeah.
Like you kind of need to turn it down so it doesn't get affected by all of that like New York style compression and saturation and whatever. Clipping, limiting. I'm finding that with kicks these days where I'm like, man, you kind of have to turn the kick down. I got to turn my sub way down comparatively to what I would think.
Yeah, because by the time you get to the end.
Yeah, once it gets squish, 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 that sub's back up there, and the kick's back up there, and the snare's back up there. And my snare's got to be way lower than my kick in general. And
yeah. And, I mean, even then, I end up turning my kick down right at the end. Like, right before I'm about to print everything squashed, I'm like, I'll turn the kick down by, like, 2, and there's no perceived difference at all on, like, the scope. And you're like, all right, well, sounds better, you know?
Sounds better. Now the kick is, like, not fucking just destroying everything. It is tricky. It's a tricky little balance out there, fellas.
It really is, right?
Meatbag says, do you know what parallel bandpass filtering is? It's an alternative to hypercompression or brick walling via limiting. I do know what parallel bandpass filtering is. The Dawn of Dawns, as I forget his name, 'cause slightly inebriated.
Let's go.
Dan Worrall has done videos on parallel.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
See, you fucking knew.
Yeah.
You fucking knew.
You know where you got that information.
Yeah, that shit's tight.
Oh,
I'll do that, but I'll do
we
it.
need to get him on the podcast.
I'll do it on a send, where I have a send that's just a bandpass. Big respects and big ups to fucking Dan, dude. Dan's the man.
Dan Worrall,
wait, so I'm confused. Where you're adding a compressor after the parallel bandpass?
No,
or the bandpass is just
it's just a bandpass
simulating compression.
So you're just sending.
Somehow?
You have 2 signals that are parallel. One's unadulterated. One is just bandpassed in a certain area. So now you're just getting that doubled with the regular. So now instead of like compressing the signal, you're adding in just that bandpassed signal to a certain area. So you're kind of like doubling only the mids or doubling only the highs to kind of get more meat in that specific
that's fun
region and stuff. Oh yeah, and you can do it with like shelves. Like I'll do a high shelf on a send, and then any group that anything that I want kind of shelved together, you know, a little bit more crispy, I'll just send into that.
Nice, there you go.
Just a skosh. So everything's kind of getting it together.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't do it all the time, but it's sick. I should do it more.
Yeah, that's a fun move. I've never tried it. I've kind of done a thing for more like sound designy stuff where I'll do parallel band passes and automate them around.
Right.
And then you can get like your own formenty kind of things going. Yeah. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. That's how I do like all my little squonk sounds lately, like the little high-end zippery like guys.
Zippery.
Maybe not zippery all the time, but they can get zippery.
It's a fun sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. I love putting like, I'll just make a random LFO on a band or, you know, whatever. Is that what it is? Bandpass, like one of these guys?
Little tight guy, yeah.
Yep. Do it on that, group it, duplicate. So they're all just like
right,
going
crazy,
over.
And then go and change up times on the fucking
go
LFOs,
start fucking around,
fuck around with it until you get some like weird shit.
Yeah.
And then now you just have a thing that does some fun things, and then you record it doing that for a while until you find like the fun moments.
Yep, the good moments.
Save
the little
like,
happy
nice
accidents.
moments.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a fun way to do it too, because then you can give each little parallel chain its own little like special effect. Like on one of them, I like to do like a really tight delay with a lot of feedback, so you get that kind of like metallic-y, robot kind of sound. So like just your high end gets that sound for a sec, and everything else is there, and then it zips back down. It's a fun thing for sure.
That's true. Yeah, doing some shit like that.
Yep.
You could also like do one with a tight delay that's like a wide delay. You could go between wide and I would immediately, if I'm changing it up, be like, okay, one of these is going to have like a width element to it, some chorus, a
Chorus
little really,
one.
really tight reverb or convolution or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Some
They all get saturated, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun thing.
When you're doing it, do you let, like, let's say you had 3 of them in parallel, do you let them all go randomly in the full spectrum, or do you like kind of keep them in their own little spot, or both?
You
Depends.
set
We talked
you
for
set a thing, and
sound
then
design.
For sound design,
You dial.
Yeah, I'll
dial it. Yeah.
I'll dial. I'll usually just make sure it's not super lows or super highs. Kind of just keep it in like the mid.
I'm gonna have
range.
some notches
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, some kind of random. Just to kind of give it
Cancel
a
it.
combing, natural combing to it, so it kind of feels more like a real world sound.
Yeah, and you could be drastic or like really tight, small little guys.
Yeah.
Doing
Yeah, it
movement.
Doesn't have to be audible.
Totally.
It
Totally.
just has
That's a
to
good
be.
point too.
Just needs to be like some. This just needs to be not static.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
You're like creating nodes
Yeah.
and creating color based on the saturation that you get right afterwards after each thing.
Meatbag says, so my drum stack looks like
Right.
EQ, Kickstart, EQ, Transient Designer, and 2-to-1 compression. What's Kickstart doing?
Kickstart.
Isn't that a Ducker thing?
Yeah. Yeah. What is
Yeah.
that doing on there?
Why?
Maybe it's a send for the Kickstart?
Yeah,
Bruh.
bro, sorry. Dude.
You putting it on like your top?
But
Kickstart.
are you using it to sidechain?
Is it like a sub insertion thing?
No, it's like side. It's
So
like
this
volume
is
shaper.
sub.
Yeah, it's on a send from the bass. So the bass is sidechaining your drums?
Dude, that's the classic move.
No,
I don't know. I'm just
that's going
wondering.
it's got to be going to the bass.
It's just side.
It's just my kick.
Okay. Oh yeah. So it's just.
So is the kick sidechaining the bass, so the bass is ducking out of the way of the kick?
The Kickstart.
The kickstart isn't on the drum group. That's just part of. That's just sidechain, right? Or sidechain.
Yeah, I'm confused. But either way,
Bro.
EQ, Transit Designer, and 2-to-1 compression. That looks like mine too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Classic bit.
Although I have
4-to-1.
a clipper before the 2-to-1.
Oh, multiband. A multiband clipper on my bitch.
Yes, but
Nice.
it's still a clipper. Dude, the clippers, even if you're just soft
I clip everything.
clipping, like it's the way to go. Because like, say you clip everything and you turn everything to a nominal level, not necessarily the best sounding mix, but everything is loud. And like not hitting the last limiter. If everything's clipped, you're already at like fucking -6, like ridiculous luffs. And then you can kind of dial it back from there. Like things don't have to be as loud because things are just clipped. So you can kind of just like, it almost easier, depends on, how you've learned to mix. But like for me, I like clipping things because then I can be like, oh, now this shaker is really obvious where I need it. Now it's really obvious when it's too quiet or too loud because it's only that, I only have 3 options. It's either the correct volume or it's too loud or too quiet. And if it's not clipped, it's like squeaking out of the compression in the group and like kind of squeaking out of things because the fucking kick's slamming all hard. And if everything's nice and clipped and robust, it's fucking, I don't know. I just have an easier time being like, yeah, that's that level, that's that level, that's that level. Boom, mix is done.
Yeah.
At least a preliminary mix.
Honestly, that's why when I go to mix something, I go and clip everything first.
Right.
Before I go. And I know it's a terrible idea. I don't suggest it to everybody, but I know.
I mean, my shit's already clipped by the time I get there, but yeah, it's the exact same.
Yeah, totally. I mean, these days
mentality.
it is for me, but I learned that because I started working on doing these mixes and I was like, oh, yeah, if I clip everything, if I get the most, basically the idea is like, let me get the most volume per like moment out of every single sound I can. And then if I turn it down, it still is like, it's holding a lot of weight, even though it's quieter.
You'll be surprised.
So you still will hear it nicely.
Right, right, exactly. And you'll be surprised how far you can clip something before it distorts.
Totally.
And that's kind of what you do. You just kind of keep going until it distorts, then you dial it back a little bit.
Because it's perceivable shit is what we're dealing with.
Right.
When we're talking about distortion. Because you're getting distortion
immediately. Yeah, you still are.
But, like, if you can't hear it, then, like, is it there?
Right. And, like...
You might have bad ears. But.
All my stuff is, like, low pass to a certain degree. So I'm working on the A-listing coming out of that. So it's, you know... We don't have high fidelity or high enough fidelity speakers in clubs for you to be able to hear a fucking 22K fucking...
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit coming back down.
I don't have that good of ears.
Yeah, most people, I think the cutoff is like 16 to 18 anyway.
That too. Yeah. Well, I mean, I went to the ear doctor and they didn't even test above fucking 8.
Yeah, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You're just your whole life.
They're
is
like,
just
fuck you. We don't care about up there. It doesn't matter.
I thought when they were doing the test that I was missing some because it felt like there was some that were higher up that I would be able to hear, and they definitely rolled off. Like the higher ones at like 8K were like half the decibel of like a 4K one. I was like, you bastards, just play it at the same decibel. If you can't hear it, you can't hear it. Yeah. Like, give me a fucking flat curve.
Destroy someone's
Although,
ears.
maybe it is a flat curve, and because of the Fletcher-Munson curve that is my ear, it seemed like it was quieter.
That's possible.
No, science, folks.
It's possible.
It's science. Obviously. Frequency range, also a huge impact on how things interact with clippers limiting.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we talk about this
the bottom end's gonna
all the
clip first.
time.
That's hence... The multiband clipper.
The multiband clipper is great for that. I also will often just do a shelf on my low end and just bring it up as far as I need to in order to clip it more, in order to save the low end from the clipping and still clip the higher end shit. And, you know.
And then bring it back if you need to, but sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not necessary once everything's kind of squashed and pushed down.
Yeah. I often don't bring it back, but I might even do like a 6 decibel roll off low pass after everything anyway.
Yeah, I do that
so
all the time.
that you get that fucking just that softness on the high
just
end.
A little bit of because
that high end can get harsh.
It can get harsh, and you'd be surprised how much you don't really care about. Like,
yeah, and when you smash it at the end of your fucking song, you don't need to have your high end just be getting just destroyed through the fucking limiters and shit.
If you have, say, if you're, you know, cheeky like me and you're like putting the black box distortion unit on your master, all those cuts at like 10K to K and above, whether they're hard or 6 or a shelf or whatever, all I got to do is like kind of distort the track a little bit, and I can get those high crystalline things kind of back.
Yeah, but you get it in a cohesive way,
and in a slightly different way, in a distortion way, which I like. I like the sound of when the hi hat comes in; it's clearly distorting by the bass.
Right,
like it's clearly, you know, got a little bit of hair on it.
Right,
because then when the bass stops playing, the hi hat sounds all nice. You're like, oh. And then the bass comes in, you know, because it gives the illusion of the speakers dying, which everybody loves.
AKA,
speakers.
It's loud as fuck.
Yeah, right. When it's not really that loud. Haha, gotcha. It's not that loud. Y'all looked into inverse sub kicks, not hardstyle.
Inverse sub kick?
I'm talking about the thing we talked about last stream.
No.
I'm trying to remember this.
Reversing a kick.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this. Yeah,
right.
I hadn't fucked with it, but I do remember thinking about it. After that.
Yeah, like I said, I was out of town.
Is that all it was? Was just reversing a kick into the kick? Was it every time?
Sub is what he's saying, right?
Right.
It's like something weird.
Oh yeah, I do that literally
where
every
it's a transient
song.
and then the sub reverses. Is that what I'm thinking?
If I remember.
rave kicks, but instead you reverse the 3 hits
before the kick. It's before the kick.
Where's the 3 hits?
I'm confused by that.
Listen to my
Are you talking about like a pre-drop kind of thing?
All right, yeah. Drop that shit in the Discord, bro.
Yeah, is it in the Discord? If not, let's see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, throw it in the Discord. We can listen real quick. Yeah, any reverse play is always fun. Reverse your reverb throws, reverse the delays.
It's in there, he says.
Let's go.
All right.
Me bag.
Where is
Hilarious.
it? Where is it, me bag?
He dropped it.
It's in the Discord.
Oh. Well, damn it.
What is it? Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say, did you know you can do dark theme SoundCloud? It's fucking sick.
You know how often I use SoundCloud?
That's why I said never mind.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Pulling up the Discord. Here we go, folks. Let's bring it on over here so everybody can see what's happening.
Turn the clip down a little also, just in case.
It's already down.
Cool. This sounds sick.
Yeah, I love it already. Okay, I see. Yeah, this is sick.
Fucking dark and dirty, me bag.
Okay, so it's kicks. Yeah. I mean, they're triplets.
You should download it.
Oh.
Download it.
Yeah,
Bring it
cool.
into the DAW real quick.
This is wild. This is cool.
Dude, we're gonna bring it into the DAW here, folks.
Yeah.
Give us one moment.
Just
So me bag, you're reversing. Is the kick just that's basically just the bass? It's just kicks down there doing the rumble, and you're just reversing some of the kicks?
That's a good question.
That's the case. It sounds cool.
What say you?
Fucked it up, that a boy.
You want to see Fubar come up? I do have Fubar.
Fubar?
Believe you me, I'm the best media player ever. Next to Winamp, I don't know. Winamp in 2008 was pretty fire. You probably don't know what Winamp is, Austin. I'm sorry.
No idea.
That's too bad.
Winamp.
You don't know about the llama.
The llama. I love llamas, dude.
What
is Fubar also?
Fubar is another meteor.
So this is a live mastering session. We sell this sort of shit at always400.com.
Yeah, check it
You
out.
know, we also
Look at
do
this beauty.
mixes. We might be able to help you with some your home studio acoustics as well. I like your move.
Love it.
Sonar works on.
Yeah.
Is that the drop?
Yes ish.
Okay.
Looks like there's more happening over
Yeah,
here.
it gets a little more.
We're concerned about this kick, Dilly. This is nice though. So each one of these is a reverse kick. One of these little things coming into the kick here.
Boom, 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 boom.
Is that true? Yeah, yay or nay?
It's a fun move. I keep seeing a bunch of rumble clips.
It's a beat delayed, printed and reversed. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So you basically delayed your kick.
Do-wah-wah.
Yeah.
Right. He delayed his kick, so it's like do.
It's
and
triplets,
just
eh?
reversed it or whatever, and kind of
triplet.
It does look like it is a similar thing going on here. It's kind of nice. What I want to know.
Dude, it's chugging.
It distorts evenly. That's nice. Y'all already know. You know what I'm saying, boys?
Dude, Black Box looks so good.
Yeah, that's fucking...
I want it.
That's so good.
I like that. That's a cool thing. I will fuck with that. It does.
Same.
It does give a
I will
little.
also fuck
It does
with
give
that.
a nice suck effect. It is kind of. It's still ravey to me. But I understand what you mean by rave style. Instead of just like the kind of more stabby bass
Right.
kind of thing. Because did I do that for that track? No. I did. I made a track a couple weeks back, and the bass, instead of using a bass patch, I used Kick 2, my kick maker, but I just used it to make a bass tone. But because it was still kind of made with a kick maker, it kind of had kick qualities. So it kind of had a unique groove that it gave the whole beat, and like didn't sound like your normal kind of bass patch, even though it was just a sine wave distorted. Like it wasn't anything that crazy.
Right. Yeah, I remember I had this little phase where I got obsessed with making all of my bass sounds out of kick sounds, like just processing the living fuck out of kicks. And I got a bunch of like really cool results, and then I totally just forgot about that. Probably they were all like pretty messy, but that was a fun thing to do. Percussion.
Yeah, kicks and 808s are fun with like shitloads of OTTs.
Yeah.
Because once the bottom end goes away, it's just like
right.
fucking sucks all crazy.
Especially if you start pitching them and stretching them and shit like that. Fucking that kind of drum mud pies are nice.
Yeah, drum mud pies are real
some
nice.
fun stuff out of drum mud pies.
Yeah.
Sublab is pretty cool. I think I had a demo of it, and it was pretty fun.
Sublab.
Yeah, it's not just for hip hop. It just makes 808s.
Oh, okay.
And shit.
Oh, cool. Designated like VST for it. That's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I'm kind of intrigued.
You get to like input the like specific first 10 harmonics or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. I can't remember precisely, but it's something on that level where you can just like design subs.
It's just a fuck you bass
maker.
maker box.
Yeah.
Oh, I want it.
Fuck you bass box.
I
bass box.
just kind of built a couple of those in Phaseplant, so I just can
Yeah.
like pull them up any moment and just like adjust a couple things.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Off to the races.
Yeah, I have
I
the
like
same thing in Serum.
continuing to make them too.
Yeah.
I don't
it is
want
fun.
to. I don't want to like begin to rely on something else, something
Right.
that's pre-made to make my kick or my sub sounds.
Right.
You got to keep
'Cause
those chops up.
Yeah, I want to get better at making sick ass fucking subs.
Right.
I want my low end. My low end is such a fucking high priority to me.
Right.
So,
Which the secret seems to be sine waves.
yeah.
Folks, unadulterated sine waves.
Yeah. I mean, with some harmonics.
Yeah, with a little bit, but not
Yeah.
It's not a lot of
not
harmonics.
much.
Yeah. My favorite move
Everything.
lately has just been I have a separate sub on everything, and
Let's go.
yeah,
Love
and
it.
everything, and I cut everything else out so you have room for the bottom like 3 harmonics down there, and then you kind of just get to pick and choose what kind of sub you want. Like, do you want like a strong low harmonic and like a dip at the second and have the third one up, or like you can play around with it, and then you just have all the control down there. You know, it's gonna be perfect every time. It's my favorite.
That's why I like fucking with a wave to wave table, because I can just open a sine wave and then I can just like add the 15th harmonic. It's
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
It just makes it weird. And I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
sick. Now let's distort that
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
You can also do. I like a little bit of a randomness on my harmonics for how prominent they are. just a slight bit of randomness so that it's not the same sub form all the time.
Oh, okay.
Because like, sure, you can give it like the fucking like fat sub, but it's gonna be boring after a minute worth of hearing the same fucking sub.
Your ears get used to it.
Right.
Yeah. So even on those low frequencies, giving it a little slight bit of randomness, and like, I mean like a little bit.
Right.
You know?
Very, very slight.
Unless they're very different noises, then have drastic difference in the sub frequencies. But like, if you have a lot of the same sub happening, try and add some randomness to it.
An easy way to achieve that is just have like a distortion unit on it that's not distorting a lot, but you have a randomizer on the drive.
Yeah.
And then you have a compressor afterwards to kind of help even out whatever that drive is going to give or take. But that way, every time it hits, you know, either it's a little bit less drive or a little bit more drive. So it's kind of just like slightly goosing around. Yep. And that's a pretty quick and easy way to achieve a goal similar to what you just described.
Yeah, you can do even a reactive kind of a... Well, now you're a little more sterile if it's reactive. But even a wow on the sub. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll put a wow on the sub.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
all the
just
time.
A little bit of that fucking...
There's a wow on everything.
Yeah.
Just that fucking... It's
just don't...
Never perfect.
Just don't put one single wow on your entire, like, fucking main group.
No. I mean, maybe. But, like...
If it's lo-fi, or in a moment, maybe. But, like... Over the course of the track, it's really obvious.
It is a fun move to apply a wow in a moment.
Yeah. Just,
Get one of those wows that has like an amount knob.
Right.
So you can just kind of push it so it starts to fucking wobble before you fucking...
Yeah, go tight as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a cool idea.
Love it.
I love it.
Please ask questions.
Who here, if anyone, works outside their normal genres?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question.
Works.
I don't even have a normal genre. I wish I did. I wish I could fucking stick to one goddamn thing. It's so annoying.
Yeah, but also, like, nobody does.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was hearing AT talk to you guys upstairs about something while I was, like, going to bed. And he's like, how can guys, like, keep just making the same music over and over again? Like, don't they get tired of it? I'm like... They do. They just don't release it under that name or at all. Like, they have side projects. Maybe they're releasing random cheeky shit under, or they still make shit at home.
Yeah.
But, like, it doesn't have to be released under that project.
Yeah, we don't. I would say none of us really have, like, normal genre. Like, we kind of will. I mean, Caleb and I are fairly focused on, like, kind of going for a certain vibe.
Yeah.
But it's not a genre. It's just a vibe.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we don't give a fuck. Like, we'll make some random shit whenever the fuck we want. And Austin's, you know.
Austin's all over the place, too. He said he put
young,
together
man.
a synthetic chamber piece recently. Sounds great.
Synthetic chamber piece.
That sounds tight.
Dude.
What does that mean?
That's
It's
a
a
question.
dildo.
I don't. Yeah, I think that is a dildo.
Synthetic chamber. No, it'd be more of like a what is the
Peace meaning.
what is the one for the dude? The fleshlight. Synthetic chamber.
Oh, a synthetic chamber piece. Yeah, that is a fleshlight. Actually,
That is.
You're right.
I think that's a good note to end on right there.
Synthetic chambers.
Folks, of course we are sponsored by Synthetic Chamber Pieces.
Use our 15% off code.
A wild fucking nickname.
Get your dog's paw inside of a synthetic chamber today, folks.
15% off. Use the promo code 400.
Yep. No. Use promo code DRENCHED.
Drenched 400.
Folks, thanks so much for hanging out with us for an hour.
Dripping.
If you're new here, we do this every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Sometimes we have guests that sit right here.
Yep.
Sometimes we're just hanging out. It doesn't really matter. We're just here for the people, here for the chit chat, here for the learning, here for the love. Here for the love, man.
For the love. Everyone go listen to Is that Big
Love
Wild?
Shack, baby, Love Shack.
Or Love Shack?
Thanks, folks. We'll be back next week. Hit the fucking follow button, sub button, all those things.
Yep.
Whatever you feel like. Go.
Meatbag, thank you for being a consistent legend in chat.
You're amazing, man.
You're the homie.
Shout out to 400 Rogue and shout out to Soomp.
Soup.
See you guys later.
Bye.